y'all? Welcome to another Marvel team up. We haven't had one in a long time, but this one I'm excited for. I was trying to work on finding time to do a live stream together, and I'm happy we were able to find time tonight. And tonight's Marvel team up, I'm joined with the one, the only Sherris.Stuff. Welcome, Sherry.
Oh.
It's nice to have you on. And tonight we're going to go over some of our favorite Funkos in our collection. If you can't tell by the background, she's huge Funko collector.
Marvel collection today. So
Okay, Marvel specifically. Okay, Marvel specifically. Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, like, what got you into like Funkos originally? Like, what was your first one? Do you remember your first
one? My first one was on sale. A Gamora, the young Gamora from Endgame at Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm.
Just got it for shits and giggles. The first one that I really got for myself was the Mickey and Minnie Halloween ones, and from there it kind of just took right off. I started collecting to connect with my 13-year-old son. He was really into it. He's been collecting since 2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so actually, I think a lot of the original ones, he had the original things. He had a lot of them back in the day, but he played with them as toys, and they are long destroyed. Well, we didn't. Well, you know what? Funkos are toys. They are toys at the end of the day, and they were enjoyed. So that's what the most important thing was. But I got into connect with him, and I finished off or helped him with his Flash collection and his DC. He's really into DC, the Fantastic Four, and I love Marvel. My youngest is 6, and I've totally gotten him into collecting now too. So if it doesn't fit on my shelf, then I put it on
his. Oh, okay. like recently, like Marvel Legends. You just got into Marvel Legends too, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, that is my son as well. He got into Legends, so I'm trying not to go full on in, because I think that was Funkos. I went from 0 to 100. Mm-hmm. So I think the Legends, as long as I don't do that, he might actually enjoy collecting for a little bit more.
Oh, okay. Trying to take it slow so that way you don't like over. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, because he went from like having this little collection to having almost every single one of the Flash and all these DC, and he's like, it was kind of too much, Mom. And like, as you can see, like, this is just Phase 5. I've got probably about 10 boxes in storage of just Marvel alone. That I so I go all in.
now I admire that. Now, is it the ones that are in storage, are they back in their original boxes, or is it like bubble wrapped?
They're just in their original boxes and containers. Seem to be weathering the weather, so I've been worried about that. Concerned about the summertime, but
wow. So out of curiosity, if you don't mind me asking, like, so when you take those, like, you have Phase 4 and 5 right there, right?
Yep.
Are there boxes like set aside somewhere else? Like, you have space for them for somewhere?
They're in storage.
Oh, wow.
They're all in the boxes, and I don't even break them down. They're just boxes in storage. I think I have, I don't know, probably about 50, 60 boxes at least.
Oh, wow.
So it's a
awesome.
lot of room.
Yeah. But that's awesome, though. That's awesome to hear. And it's awesome to hear, like, your son's like an OG collector, because there was a time when these Funkos didn't even have mouths on them. They were just, they weren't even painted on or sculpted on. It was just the eyes and the nose, and that was it on the face.
Yeah. He had them right at the beginning. The head popped off, and it, like, I think its head was off more than it was on, because they weren't put together as well, I think, too. Like, it's not like small. They're not the greatest put together right now either, I find. I got this Sinister Six set, and they can't all go together. They won't. And anybody that I've seen or heard of, they won't go together either. So,
yeah. But I mean, some of them now, like, the detail on them is pretty insane. Like, and some of them have like there's like moments too. Like I have the Black Panther one where T'Challa's on the throne, so that's like pretty cool. Like stuff we wouldn't have seen before, but yeah.
Oh, and it was hard narrowing down any of my collection too, because it's like asking you to choose between your children, like, and then I'm like, okay, I'll start at number 10, and then like, you can't do that. Like, you got to start at number 1. Like, oh my gosh, how do I even do that? What's my favorite one? So what am I doing? one today may not be my favorite one tomorrow. So
Right. It's all how you are in the moment. Now, do you have like a rule to your collecting? Like, do you get multiples of one, or do you only stick to one character, one pop, or you get different iterations of them?
oh no, I am I have a problem. I have ADHD and I'm all or nothing. So I'm finding it really hard to not get all of the variations of everything.
Hmm.
I the last little bit I've been calming down. So I've not been getting every single one, like the Black Panther one. I didn't get every single one yet. I'm at least trying to space myself out, but no,
So
I'm an
you,
all type of girl. I get them all, and sometimes I even get doubles so that just in case if the box gets, I
good.
have enough.
I'm glad. Sorry, I'm glad I'm not, because like I know there's a lot of collectors. I do that too with like Marvel Legends, like the MCU stuff. I try to be a completist with. Some of the stuff I'm trying to slow down because like we're already in phase 5 and there's so much stuff to collect. So some of them I buy two of as well, just in case if I really like it. Like I'll get two of.
Or if you need, like, if you just happen to need to sell it or something, like there's always, just in case. Like, and
That's
then,
true.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I've got quite a few of doubles. And then if I really, like have to justify it, then I'll go and I'll put it on my son's shelf, like I said, so that I
Hmm.
don't have to put it the double.
There's so when we go in our list here in a little bit, I have like two that I wish I'd gotten doubles of back in the day, but yeah. Before we go dive in, I just want to say hi to our friend Jeff stopping by. Thanks, Jeff. What's up, word? So we're gonna kind of narrow it down. I know you said it's hard to narrow down your 10, but we're gonna, I mean, kind of your favorite. You know what I mean? And then we'll get it all the way to your most favorite out of, you
Yeah,
like them all equally.
I like them.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with my first, or I guess my number 10, is the Kid Loki.
Kid Loki. All right. That's probably one of
Yeah,
my favorite Disney Plus shows from Marvel.
it's like it is, and I was going through, and I'm like, how can I not have one of Loki? And like, was going to do the classic Loki, but at least this one has the alligator with it as well.
Oh.
So like, it's kind of like a 2-in-1 thing.
Mhm.
No, I love the Loki show. I'm looking really forward to the second season, so it's favorite there.
Same here. That was probably my favorite one out of the first wave of shows that came out. Although I'm hearing like it says coming soon now, it doesn't show a definitive date, so I'm hoping it's still this year though.
I really hope so. It's it's nice to look forward to the show.
Right.
Um, I
Well,
guess
it's a nice
hmm?
pick for. We'll just say number 10. That's a nice pick at number 10.
Number 10,
You got two and
yeah.
one. I like that.
Well, yeah, right. Like, might as well. My number 9 is
Mhm.
the Miles Morales.
Oh,
I think it's the Game Burst one or the Gamer one.
that's
Not a
not
hundred
the
percent.
that's not the end of the Spider-Verse one, is it? Huh?
No, I'm actually, you know what? Honestly, I would need the box to say to be 100% for
Yeah, you don't
sure.
want to.
It might be I don't even know, but yeah. See what a kind of collector am I? I have so many that I can't remember which goes with which one. But I just
Mhm.
love how he has a little cape, and it's all like back in the day. It looks like he's trying to, or just getting his outfit together.
Right.
So
It's got the cape on
it's,
there too.
yeah, it's cute. Like, I love the little details on it. I keep going the wrong way. Sorry about that. Like, I don't know. It's I.
It's nice. It's a nice.
My number 8 is Miss.
Oh, okay. This is the PX exclusive Emma
Yeah,
Frost, I think, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Yeah.
no, yeah, it's yeah, the diamond version of it from back
Hmm.
in the day. So this, I think, was one of my profile pictures for quite a while.
Yeah.
Um, but because I was too afraid to show my face.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, so she's uh, trying to
Now,
pick some of everything is good.
are you a huge X-Men fan?
My husband is.
Hmm.
Um, so I I actually, after I got my son, I started the collection for the X-Men, because I was like, well, at least then he'll let me keep it in the house. Because then if I start getting with all Disney and all these cartoonish stuff, he will say no. But if I start with something cool like the X-Men, then he might let me keep it. And it worked. So
Okay, no. Nice. That's
that was my
fair.
first. full out collection I got, I think, was the X-Men. I got the Mickey and Minnie, and then I started really hard into myself for getting the X-Men. Starting to watch it with my son, back in the old cartoons, because I want to watch the new animated series when it comes out.
So you guys are you're watching the 90s one, right? The X-Men animus?
Yes, we just started it. Or
Awesome.
I just started
it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is one of the best. That's one of the best animated series ever.
I've heard, and I'm glad that it's coming back. My husband was super excited. So I'm also reading what is the one? The Secret Wars, the original one.
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6 books into that one right now. So that one.
So you read your comics too. That's awesome. All right, so
I'm fine.
Try. All right, so I'm gonna jump in here now because lately, I mean, last couple, if you don't mind, because I'm gonna go with my list too. Last couple of years, like I've kind of downsized the Funkos, as you can see, I've been spending irresponsibly on other stuff. But I do have a select few that I keep just for personal reasons because I just really like them. My number 8 is going to be a 2-for-1, but it actually is. It's the my stuff's all in the box too, so still, it's the Bruce Banner and Hulk, and this was a Collector Corp exclusive. Now, I never actually signed up for the Collector Corp. I got this at New York Comic Con in 2018, and prior to like getting heavy into like the Marvel Legends stuff and the DC stuff, I had a completionist set of all Hulk Funkos. Like I had every single Hulk version because my first one was the Avengers 1 Hulk from 2012.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And but I mean, this was one that eluded me, and I really like this because it's the first appearance and it's reminiscent of that iconic cover too. But I just liked how it's like 2 Funkos now. You got a deluxe one and like a little Bruce Banner in there too. But this is mine.
That's one of my regretting that I never got, or like
You never got this one?
No, I don't have that one in my collection.
That
one's a super cool
one. But yeah, that's my number 8.
My 7. Sorry, I've got them all like sitting beside me. Is new, like the 80s version. Come on, he's like, yeah, no.
That's not. I never knew he had like a headband. That's pretty cool. The Nightcrawler one.
Yeah, and the older ones they only had movie ones before, so I was going through all of it, trying to narrow down my collection and stop being such a completionist. And like, there's no Nightcrawler, and then they introduced this. I'm like, yes. So
you didn't want to get the. You don't do the movie stuff, like you try not to get some of the movie stuff.
No, I have all of those too.
Oh, okay. That's cool though. I had the Nightcrawler one before too. Then I sold it. I kind of wish I still had it though. But that was a cool pick for number 7. It's interesting. So, are we to like? Is there a lot of X? You're a huge fan of X-Men, so are we going to see some more X-Men in this list? No, without spoiling it. You don't
a little bit more X-Men. One more X-Men.
All right, cool. So my number 7 is. It's the same mold as the original one, but it was a Target exclusive. It came with a T-shirt. It's the Thanos glow-in-the-dark Target exclusive one from Infinity War. When Infinity War came out, I in Hot Topic released all these Funkos. Like I went ham and like bought like 3 different Thanoses, sometimes the same kind, just because we had never really gotten Thanos yet in the MCU, and so like Infinity War is going to be his first like full-length movie he'd be in. So I was all in for it, and I like the metallic one the best because it's just cool. It just shines one. I like the Infinity Gauntlet that came with it too. So I kind of miss these times during collecting because like it was a fun time to collect during Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they kept bringing out. So well, they're now bringing out a whole bunch of new ones then for the line, right? Like I'm trying to stay away from them. My number 6 is She-Hulk, the original lawyer one. I know this is an exclusive somewhere, maybe in LA Comic Con or something. I can't remember.
I think you're right. And so I have a funny story with that in regards to that She-Hulk. That's a cool pick. Me and my friend were like hunting back in the day for looking for that. I find one at a Toys R Us, and when it was still here in the States, and the sticker was missing, like it was cut out. So She-Hulk was in the box, just missing the exclusive sticker. I was like, no. So
That one
it,
sucks. Like, well, like now people they go the sodas. They'll go and they'll open the sodas, and if it's not the chase, they'll just go and they'll return them all now, and that kind of sucks. Like, I
no
guess
way, really?
yeah. And so now at like Toys R Us, you can't return them. It's
Mhm.
non-returnable if you buy any Funkos or sodas because of that reason alone.
Oh, okay.
That's
This
when
is
people.
what is it? Toys R Us?
That's a Toys R Us in Canada, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yeah. So you guys still have them. We don't have them here.
yeah. I live nowhere near a Toys R Us. I used to live 5 minutes away from one.
Mhm.
Now the closest one is 2 hours away, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad that it's not 5 minutes away anymore. But
Road trip.
yeah, I try at least once a month to go on a road trip.
All right, so that was a good. Oh, wait. You mind
Oh,
if I give? My bad.
I
If you want, you can go ahead. No, no, you're good. So speaking of Toys R Us, my number 6 is Jeffrey the Giraffe. This one's important to me. I still have it in that pop protector, but yes, this one is one of my favorite ones. And
I haven't
ironically,
seen one of those at all.
I actually didn't get the set of Toys R Us. I got this at a comic book shop like 4 years ago. It was totally worth it though. I mean, we didn't think they were coming back, and then now they're in Macy's, and like I know Macy's released some giraffe ones, like Jeffrey the Giraffe ones, but this is like prior to this. That's why I like this one. It has that gold sticker on there. I don't know what that was for, but I liked it. It was pretty cool. And it was kind of sad that they released this the last year before they closed here in the States.
Oh, see now all the Jeffrey ones, they are all something like Jeffrey is Batman, Jeffrey is
Yeah.
Robin, Jeffrey is
Iron
Hufflepuff.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool to see like just an original Jeffrey. I didn't even know
Regular.
that they just yeah, normal one.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, like, when this was first released, I have a friend, and his friend doesn't even collect Funkos at the time. He was like, "Oh yeah, I saw this Jeffrey the Giraffe and I bought it." And then like it's like, damn, I was looking for that. And then and his friend now has like all the Dragon Ball Z ones. So that was his, like his gateway drug was the Jeffrey the Giraffe.
Yeah, there's always one.
Yeah. That was my number 6. So we were down to number 5, and I kind of caught a sneak of who it was.
Yeah, my the old school Electro.
Hmm.
I This is one that I have two of. I have also the Sinister Six one. I've got the new Electro. I think I was going to put them both in, the new and the old one,
Mhm.
but I just did the old one. I think it's just so cool. The colors are so bright, and I love all the baddies from Spider-Man. They're wicked.
Oh, you like all the, especially Electro?
I like the Electro. I think it just looks really cool. It's so bright and vibrant. I like the Sandman one too. Like it was kind of a toss up between the two of them,
Mhm.
but
Now, did you
one.
like the Electro in the Spider-Man No Way Home movie? Did you like Jamie Foxx's one?
I'm really glad too that they brought it back. Like at least like the yellow,
Yep.
like the suit. I'm so happy that, and the Funko is so cool.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
were you not a fan of the blue version in Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I have two of those too.
Do you really? Wow.
I I don't know. I like I really like the old school comic, all the comic cover ones, all the
Mhm.
comic book ones. Like I didn't even pick my comic book covers because I'm like, no, that would be my top 10 right there. So because I have the Thor,
Oh,
and Moon Knight, they're I they're awesome. And then the 80-year collection, I have all of those, and I just think that's the best collection. Like this is from that collection, I guess. This is the representative of the 80-year.
Electro, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, so the comic cover ones, you have them displayed with a back panel behind them?
I have them. Oh, sorry.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's nice. So you have the class. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Doesn't know
curious.
that far.
I'm curious if they're ever going to do a Hulk one. That'd have to be a big box to like put the comic over for him.
Yeah, they'll probably do it like they did. What is it? The new. Sorry.
Okay.
What is it? The Wizard of Oz,
Mm-hmm.
and because I saw that today, the Funko is like freaking huge. It's like a 6-inch Funko, 10-inch Funko, right in the box. The movie poster. Cinderella. That's the other one I was thinking of.
Oh,
They
okay.
might do it right.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool. I probably would buy that. There's some, like a few of them I still buy here and there, but yeah. All right,
Yeah, all
so
the my favorite.
so Electro. So now we're at number 5. What?
Yeah, right, you're 5.
Oh, I'm 5. Sorry. This one actually here. I'll take this one out of the box. But my number 5 is Venomized Hulk, and the reason why is carefully do this. So I always remove it from the bottom. Sorry, it's gonna be like a Funko ASMR unbox.
Yeah, and some people really see. I'm not a big, huge box person, but just in case I move on to the next person, I want to be respectful of that.
Okay. Thanks. Here we go. Venomized Hulk. This, I think I remember pre-ordering this at GameStop, but like this is insane. Like this is one of those Funkos. It came out, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, but it shows how far it's gone in terms of sculpting. Like that's insane. Like,
But that's the very first one compared to that one. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's just like that's wild. Even up to like the face, you can see the symbiote kind of like smudging off on there, trying to take over, and
yeah.
like the teeth all over his body. Like this is pretty cool. Oh no. That's one of my favorite ones.
Like, no, don't damage him. You blame me.
No, that was a fail.
uh,
So, like,
yeah.
we're at
So I'm
4.
4.
Mm-hmm. Rhino. Cool.
You know what? I think he's one of the earlier sculpts, and even with the earlier sculpts, like the detail on it, all the wrinkles and everything else. I love him. I don't know. He's one of my favorite baddies
Is
for
he
the fun.
really?
Yeah, I don't know, like just for the Funkos themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you like him in the comics, or did you ever watch the animated series with Rhino?
No, I'm just getting into it. Somebody asked me why too. He's my favorite. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just kind of drawn to him, and I think in the movie they made him look like kind of a dummy.
Oh,
I
the mechanical suit with Paul Giamatti. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was terrible.
not that much of a dummy. So I feel kind of bad for him. Some of the villains there, but hopefully he'll get a little bit of a redemption.
Hopefully, that's one of those things where like I love the Amazing Spider-Man. Like I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man the best. And it's one of those things I have a hard time defending, like Rhino in a mechanical suit. Like, I can't defend that.
Oh, it's really bad with that, and like it sucks too. They set up so much stuff, or they set up the Sinister Six, and was getting so stoked, and then it's just gone. So
Phased out.
yeah.
Oh, fellow Lonely Fans podcast member Albert says, "Is that Rhino from Collector Corps? I think I still have that one in box. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one. He had a Collector Corps membership, and he had the Hulk and Bruce Banner one, but he kept that one. So when I saw like that one, I was like, oh, I have to get them. That's why it's on my list. And I do like Rhino. I don't know if you can see him. He's really tiny. He's right there in my Marvel Legends.
Oh, cute. Yeah. No, yeah. Spider-Man has the best villains. They really do. So
yeah. All right. So that is your number 4, right?
like 4. Yep.
All right. Mine is, it's a very cheap custom I did, but number 4 is Squirtle from Pokemon. I added the sunglasses, and I remember I posted this in the Funko group on Facebook, and they're like, how much would you charge for that? And like I told people my secret what it was. They're like, oh, okay. It's literally, it works for what it like in the box, right?
Yeah.
It's literally just paper. Like I was able to trace over the original image of Squirtle Squad, like the glasses, and I just put it on there. So, and I'm a huge Squirtle fan. I have a tattoo of him, but yeah, it's my first and only custom I've ever done.
That's awesome. Yeah,
It's
I
not really a custom though.
No, it is though. No, it's one of the Pokemon that I have. I think that was my first Pokemon with Squirtle.
You Squirtle for cool.
My number 3 is Mystique.
Mystique. Oh, okay, nice.
Going the wrong way. She was my first Funko picture when I was too afraid to show my face. Still, it's such an old. I love the yellow box. X-Men Marvel ones.
Mm-hmm.
And she's my favorite out of all of them. I think, the red hair. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll pick her to be my picture. And she was my first X-Men that I got for myself, not for my husband. So she's, one of my
It's very
favorites.
sentimental. I think I remember that as your profile picture. I think when I first befriended you, like, oh, Scott, yeah, because I remember you did some Christmas photos too at one point, right, with the X-Men. Yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. I remember that. Okay, so I remember, yeah, it was Mystique first.
Yes, Mystique, and then it was Emma Frost, and then I stopped being scared.
That's a cool pick. I like Mystique. I regret selling the Marvel Legends version of Mystique because now it's like the other one they have is like a cell shaded. It looks kind of bad. But anyways, so my number 3 is, when I look at it, I'm like, man, the plastic didn't age very well because it's still in a pop protector. But being my parents are originally from the Philippines, and I don't know if you've heard of this place. I think they might have one in Canada. Jollibee.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jollibee is number 3. And the reason why this one specifically, he's wearing an outfit called a barong, which is like very well known in the Philippine culture as like a nice dress shirt. And I just thought it was insane. I was like, yo, we have a barong on a Funko Pop. That's wild to me. But it was for Philippine Independence Day, so I thought that was really cool. This one I didn't get it at Jollibee because there's none. Well, there's a couple here now, but I got this in Vegas. But it was pretty cool to see this up close. So I had to pick one up.
Yeah, I think the closest Jollibee is in Toronto, around us. So I
2-hour drive.
About 3, yeah.
So on the way to Toys R Us, you can also go to Jollibee.
I think about 3 or 4 Toys R Us's before I get close to Toronto. So
yeah. I'll be honest, the food's okay here, but like, because it's in the States, but I've been the one in the Philippines it's really good. The one in the States are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my number 3. Number 1 and 2 are going to be fun because it's kind of the same, but for me.
Well, my number 2 is the OG Green Goblin.
Oh, okay.
One of my first, and yeah, I know most of them it's all like Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man villains. I did a shelf for my son in his room, and it has the comic books of the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. I think it was the Amazing Spider-Man something. Anyway, sorry.
The first from the Andrew Garfield one?
No.
Oh, is this a regular Spider-Man one?
The comic book.
Oh, okay.
I could all the comic book cover or the entire comic book. I cut it out and I made a shelf for him of whichever one this one is in. I can't remember. It's the first one.
Did that one come with? Yeah. Did that one come with the glider or no?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
There was 2. There was one that had a glider and one that didn't. This one just has the. So. That's
one of the original ones, though. So I that's like.
So he's kind of like, he doesn't have as much, or I'm going the other way.
No.
The scale isn't like it is now. It doesn't have as much as like the newer ones, but it's just they don't have a Green Goblin, I don't think now.
No, apart from the movie one, I think that they're coming out.
A lot of comic book ones, anyways. Like I said, I really like the comic book ones. So
yeah, that's cool. But the one that came with the glider, is he actually like molded on that one, or is he? Is it you can remove it? Got it. Okay. Okay. Cool.
And then I went and I got a Hobgoblin one year, and it was a fake. So that one sucked.
Wait, it was a fake?
It was a fake. I took it out of the box, and Marvel was spelled completely wrong. And
what?
It was my first taste of, oh my gosh, they're fake Funkos.
Yeah.
So I was lucky. The person I bought it from, they took it back. But yeah, so
that's cool. So the seller actually took it back. Did he know it was fake? I mean, they were like, "Oh, I didn't know it was fake." Or did they like sell it like it was a real one, or like the price you paid for it?
Real one. And they didn't believe me afterwards that it was a fake, but they took it back. So I think, unfortunately, somebody else probably got it, but it was an expensive pop. Like at the time, it was pretty hefty. So I was very grateful that the seller took it back.
Have you gotten a new one since then, like a real one?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, I've got the new one that they did, but I don't have the original OG one.
Okay. Out of curiosity, how is Marvel spelt on?
I think it was MVRAL. Like it was just
Morale.
and like just like was like, what the heck? They're like, no, it's fine. It's not a fake, it's real. I'm like, no, this is a fake.
Right.
Like the box, I don't think you could tell as much, or I couldn't tell. Like I was just getting into it, but as soon as I took it out of box, it was oh snap. This is
Do you use the Funko app like to count how many you have in your collection and like gives a
I
value and stuff?
I do. Right now mine's not working because when they reset and redid everybody, um, I'm in Canada and it won't work. It
Oh
tells me
no.
how many I have in my collection, like any
Mhm.
ones that I put in. It tells me the value for the value of it, but it's just empty. So I'm
Okay.
really to fix it.
I hope so too. For just to see. There you
So,
go.
I got it. I'm good.
Yeah, good. The reason why I asked it ties into what you were talking about, like the bootleg, because I don't know how long you've had the app, but before Funko acquired it, it used to be called like Poppedia, and there was a specific Vegeta Funko that was going for like $1,000 or $2,000, and then one week it just dropped to like $60, and my friend was like, "Yo, do you see how low it's going for?" Come to find out, the people that thought they were buying new ones or buying like a real one or buying fake ones, and so it was going off. Like so that's why it like diminished the value of it. But I think the app got hip to it and they fixed the pricing. That ties in kind of like the bootleg thing, but it is a real thing. Yeah.
With my Amazing Spider-Man 2 pop because that one it's been up to $300-400, like Canadian prices anyways. The value of it, and then the last week it's gone down to like 150. Like, oh
Oh wow.
wow,
Like
and I don't know why, but maybe there's been quite a few. Either a lot of people are buying them right now, or maybe there's quite a few fakes.
yeah, it could be a mixture of both. Like because I know there's a lot of people that do bootlegs. That kind of ties now into my number two. And what I'll do is I'll do my number two, number one, so that way I'll give you the floor to have number one as the main event. But my number two is it's like my third or fourth Funko I ever bought at Hot Topic. It was CM Punk, who, as most of you can tell, that is an old WWE logo. That's not the new one. And yeah, I think this was trending at like $100 or so now. But I remember seeing like shelves full of them back during Hot Topic days. And what's crazy is that first wave of like guys on there are going for a lot of money. I think everyone except for Sheamus. I know John Cena is going for a lot now. So with The Rock, and it's like if you could have a time machine to go back and like get more, I wish I would have bought more. Because my number one is the Hot Topic version of the CM Punk with the pink trunks.
Yeah.
This one's going for like $300 to $400 now. I think at one point it was trending at like 550, but yeah, I just remember shelves full of these, and I was just like, now it's like I wish I should have gotten. And like back then, I was like, do I even want this? So I'm glad I kept it all these years. He was like one of my favorite wrestlers at the time when I got back into wrestling. I don't know if you watch it, but he was definitely one of my favorite. Then not.
Back in the day, I did when I was trying to, impress the boyfriend in high school. So,
Yeah. Okay. Um, so you probably remember like Stone Cold and Rock then, right? Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So I mean, two cool Funkos, two that I wish like I could have a time machine, go back and just buy more of because of how much they're worth now. And they're sentimental ones because I actually bought this one before I bought the regular one. So, and you can kind of tell that they're old school Funkos just by the pose that they're rocking and like the sculpting work. Yeah, yeah,
I love the old ones. Like I know the new ones, they're so much nicer done. There's so much detail on it, but the old ones all have sentimental value.
oh yeah.
They're awesome. I really do like them.
Real quick, what's up, Jerry? He says I got some cartoon characters, animals like Ash's 6 original. Okay, so you have a couple Pokemon. That's cool. And Albert with the nice joke. This is John Cena, an empty box. Stupid. Yeah, dude. This is the John Cena one right here. All right. So that was my 2 and 1. So then now you're number one. Who is for your Marvel and who's your favorite one?
Well, okay, so In fairness, I have two.
Okay, that's fine.
We
That's fine.
didn't know that we would be allowed to include. Well, because I did. I like my one is a custom and one is not. So I'm like my favorite one is my custom one, but my favorite non-custom one
Nice.
it's a Scarlet Witch.
Mhm.
So that's why I wore my shirt today. I like the one reading the book and Fireball. Loved WandaVision. Little disappointed with the Doctor
Gosh.
Strange.
I so admittedly, I was wondering. I was like, well, I wonder why she's rocking the Wanda shirt, but she doesn't have any Funkos on your list. And coincidentally, number one. Okay, that's cool. That is a nice one though. I do like the floating, like she's reading the book. That's pretty cool. The Darkhold
Yeah.
book, yeah.
My favorite is my Darcy.
Oh, nice. This is your custom one.
My custom.
So I'm gonna full screen you. So what did you use for the like? If you don't mind me asking, what did you the process of making this one?
I had well, I was lucky because the body on it and the head, it seemed to work. I used Cersei from Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
I just painted it and put on glasses. I think from Elaine from Seinfeld, her glasses, and just painted it.
So that's Cersei. I was for sure thinking Harry Potter because of the scarf. I was like, oh, did you take a Harry Potter body and then put the that's a
No,
Cersei one.
and I even took her off my shelf because I'm like, I don't want anybody like to think like we're just she's separate. She's my favorite. This version is Cersei off my shelf, but she it's a perfect Funko to use for Darcy because and this is I think episode 4 when she comes in
Mm-hmm.
and so this is the outfit that she's wearing. Got it down even to like the little gloves. She's got the finger mitts.
Oh, sorry,
Her,
put you.
her fingers are I don't know.
Oh wow, yeah. So you even have the thing.
So even painted like she's got the gloves on to like here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's my favorite one by far. Kind of
That's an
wanted
awesome.
to back to her, but I don't.
So are you a fan of?
Higher
So are you like a huge fan of her character too in the MCU?
yeah, I am. I think she's fantastic. I love how they think that she's so ditzy and she's not. She's funny. She's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
really
cool.
hoping to love her.
That's cool. That's a cool. I like that you do customs too because I know you were doing like a custom one of Phoenix, right? Like you did a custom one for that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't know, like, I have like 1,300 Funkos. I really try and keep up with all of them. And there's some that I just can't get, and I didn't realize that they had a Phoenix one. Most of them that I see are all Dark Phoenix, and the only Phoenix that I saw was like an OG one. But I guess the one that I did, they do have a version of, but she's mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot they had the original Phoenix. It was like there was a white suit one, a green suit, and a red one for Dark Phoenix. But those, yeah, that was like in the same standard buck like this, where they were just like plain. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
like the custom one.
out of the so it's yeah, sorry.
I was hoping when they'd make those new ones that it would drop the value of the old ones, but that's not the case all the time.
No,
Especially,
and it's hard too because the Funkos they drop so much in price like right now because they talk to so many, right?
Mhm.
All that and the dump and everything else. And right now, I really think Funko can go either way. It's either gonna do well or it's not. But I think one of the main things or one thing that Funko collectors like is that they have the original ones. You don't want to keep having the same characters. You don't want to keep having the same. Like they're bringing a lot. So like I'm glad that they're bringing a lot. So I get to have a lot so now in my Disney collection, but
Mhm.
like that really people kind of they don't want to collect now because they're bringing all these old OG characters. I think that's the point I was getting. They're like, well, if they're just going to bring these back and like mine now, the price drops a bit, and now everybody else can have it. It is nice to have unique bits in your collection, like
Yeah.
why I them, and I don't sell them because I want it to just be for my collection. And I don't know. I guess that's
No, that's true. But I had this conversation with a friend. It was like there is like a nice. I mean, even though your intent isn't to just resell it, there is a nice. I don't know how to put it. There is a nice like uniqueness to it, knowing that it's worth this much. You know what I mean? And so I could understand. So that's kind of like, because I like I said, I collect Funkos here and there, but not as much as I used to. So I've been kind of out of the game. But like, is that how like a majority of the collectors feel? It's like, if you're just going to keep re-releasing stuff you've done before, what's the incentive to keep continuing?
Yeah, there's no point in keeping them. There's no point in really having this collection. Like, yeah, it's really cool, but I think each of us all want to have like our own unique collection. Like, if everybody all has the same stuff, then what's the point?
Yeah. Right now, I could just, I guess we could attribute to like, they feel like they've tapped into every single property. Like,
But
I used like,
same characters, like all the time. How many? You said Harry Potter. How many Harry Potters do you? Dear Lord, there's like probably 150 Harry Potters, and yet there's no um that. There's no George like or
yeah,
there's that of it at all. There can be so many more characters that they can bring in that so many people would like, but they keep focusing all on the same people. So.
right. And then like for a while, like they're doing some like sitcoms, which I thought were good, but I feel like they can revisit some other versions as well. You know, there was the Harry Potter one's crazy. I have a friend that collects all Harry Potters, like no matter what it is, just all Harry Potters, and it's their collection is literally like 9 of those cubes like filled up with Harry Potter pops. But it's wild. But that's cool. But that's cool though to hear about like your favorite one being that's the sentimental one where you have like your custom one and then the other one being Wanda, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And my favorite, I don't know, it really is a toss up between Loki and WandaVision. What was my favorite Disney show? So it was
it
hard.
really?
Yeah, you know what? I really liked them both. I think with WandaVision, we weren't expecting it. We didn't expect it so good, and it was really good. The first 2 episodes were a little bit slower, and then it just picked up. Just a shock, and I think that's why I really liked it. Loki is just fantastic. So
Yeah. The one, okay, so WandaVision one I liked when it first came out because we hadn't gotten Marvel in like a year because of the pandemic. So it was like our first fill of like Marvel stuff. And like you said, there was kind of like a slow burn though, like getting into the series. But as the series progressed, it got better. Yeah.
No, and I really love Scarlet Witch. So I kind of, I guess I'm biased. So
well, I'm glad that like, because like I said, I saw your shirt and I was just like, there's nothing from like, none of those are on the list. I'm wondering if anything from that property is like on your list, but that's cool though. I'm glad that would.
I was gonna wear my Spider now, it's like because I had so many villains of them, but I'm like, well, no, we'll leave this one on.
But I appreciate you taking the time to come on the channel today and kind of share, you know, your collecting background and some of your favorite Funkos and the Marvel ones. At some point, maybe we'll do a DC one.
You know what? My DC ones that I was making room in here, or my house because we just moved in. They're actually in storage right now, or I would have done. There's quite a few DC pops that I love. So I'd be happy to come on later as soon as I get them out of storage and do a top 10 of those with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could share it later on. But before we do like sign out, I do want to share your IG so people can find you on Instagram.
Awesome, yeah.
Cool. At Sherris.Stuff, right?
Yep.
Cool. And you can check out all the cool stuff you do, displays, photography, and then this is one we're talking about, the custom work. Like this one was pretty good. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she's on the top of my shelf right now.
I was so sure she was going to be on the list, but I was proven wrong. Darcy is instead.
Honestly, it was really hard. Like how many put in, how many Spider people, okay, and oh my gosh, I have none from this, so it was hard.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you again, Sherry, for stopping by and sharing. We'll have to do this again. And I want to thank y'all for coming through as well. Thanks, Albert. Thanks, Jeff. And thanks, Jerry. That's it for tonight. And remember to tune in. We'll probably do another one sometime in the future.
Yeah, as soon as I get my DC one, then let's do another one.
Right. All right. Thanks again, y'all. Oh, Jerry said before he says that's a cool X-Men collection. Nice. Oh. Thank you, Jerry. All right. Y'all have a good evening. Take care.
Bye.